Your face is naked.
I know. I had to do it for this play I'm doing. And The
Oh.
Glass Menagerie, Tennessee Williams.
Oh, they said
Um,
no zaddies allowed.
no, Zaddy's not in 1932. Also, I mean,
Oh.
it's a whole bunch of stuff for 19 black people in 1932 would not have been in this play, but grateful for the
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like when the costume designer was like, "So I think we want you clean shaven," I was like, "What?" I haven't
How do
been
you
clean shaven
feel?
since like Jersey Boys.
I
Like,
don't know this man. When I saw your face, I was like, who is
my
that?
therapist did the same thing. She was like, "Oh," and she's like, "I was like, oh God," and she was like, "No, no, no." She's like, "You look like a movie star." I said, "Say less or more."
Listen, you're a handsome man. You don't have the problem that a lot of dudes have when they get rid of their beard, which is that they have negative chin. When you see a man, it's like,
Girl, I have chin in abundance. Girl, it's a strong jaw.
yeah. So you have a strong face. There are some people that they call it beard fishing. You're a catfish. You're a beard fish. The beard is doing all the heavy lifting,
Doing
but
all
not
the
you.
work.
But not you.
Not me, not today.
Mm-mm.
Hello and welcome back to Lemme Fix It, the podcast that says, yes, this may be the season finale of Earth. Yes, Mango Mussolini just involved the U.S. in another war in the Middle East. Yes, our government is using the military against peaceful protesters. Yes, eggs may still cost $500, but what if we keep laughing anyway?
Wow.
I'm Delon Grant. I'm an actor, a singer, a photographer, writer, and an educator.
And I'm Francesca Ramsey. I'm an actress, a producer, a writer, and graphic designer. In class, the world is quite literally on fire, and we are all out here just doing the best that we can to pay these bills. So we see you. Stay strong, protect your heart, keep going, and from the bottom of our hearts, we wish that we could fix it all. If it's too big, if it's too wide, if it's too strong, it won't fit.
It is too fucking big at the moment. It is very fucking big. Friend, when we were in high school, my theater teacher, may she rest, she said something to me just after 9/11. Like, I was despondent and scared, as we all were. And she said,
Yeah.
Dylan, sometimes when things are too big and out of your control, all you can do is try to change your little part of the world. And I've never forgotten that,
Yeah.
And given all the shit that we've been through in our adulthood, in our adult life, I have had to call on that piece of advice to change your little small piece of the world, over and over again.
Oh, that's so real. 9/11, the wars that for
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I was gonna put
Gospel.
it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I partied this weekend.
She is too
forced.
big. It's too wide.
She's too old. My God. I was down for the count yesterday, and today I'm feeling it. I'm still
Let me tell you though, the face is made up. She's glowing.
Wow. Okay, thank you. I tried. All right. For real. 9/11, the wars we started in Iraq and Afghanistan, the financial crisis, the Great Recession caused by greedy banks, COVID, George Floyd, the racial reckoning, Donald Trump, January 6th, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the COVID pandemic,
Jesus.
that's not even touching on the freaking natural disasters, the LA wildfires, the floods, the hurricanes.
Damn.
God is trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something.
Y'all waiting for the rapture. The rapture is upon us.
I don't even mess with that man. And I'm like, we hear you.
Okay.
We hear you. But to your earlier point, Delon, if we don't find a reason to laugh in spite of it all, if there is no joy, how the hell are we going to get through it?
Well, what you do is you create a podcast with your best friend, and it's a safe space to reminisce and ask questions and crack jokes and try to fix cultural moments that we love and those that we love to hate,
Yeah.
But one thing that we constantly do on this podcast, Fran, is we tweak, we adjust, we fix the podcast itself.
Oh my God, the evolution of Lemme Fix It over these last 2 years has been immense. In class, we are evolving yet again, and we hope that you will join us in this new chapter. So let's dive in. This is Fixing Lemme Fix It. And scene.
Yes.
Class, you've heard Delon and I chat about how much work goes into this podcast. We each swap turns writing and researching this episode. Delon hit me up this morning. He said, Francesca, I was writing this episode and I was struggling. And then Delon actually edits and does all the sound mixing, and I handle all of our social media with help from my social media manager, Amandla. Shout out to her. It takes hours to make each episode, and we do love it. But we also have like 11 other jobs. We need to keep the lights on. So we are trying to streamline and simplify the Lemme Fix It workload, as you have heard over the episodes. You know, we started taking these breaks.
Yes.
We started doing
after
pods, round robin, listener letters. Then we did a movie focus season. So we're always changing things up and trying to figure out what's going to make the best show, but also alleviate some of the strain for us, you know?
Yeah, and make it more sustainable, right? And in the interest of like making the pod, just keeping what we have, the magic that we have of making it more sustainable for us, we're transitioning to fully video-based episodes on YouTube. Now, if you're a regular listener, you've heard us hawking our YouTube channel. youtube.com/@fixitpod. Again, youtube.com/@fixitpod. And we always say you can get the full version of these episodes of the whole podcast over on YouTube. Well, now you are only going to get these raw, stanky, dirty, filthy, funky episodes on YouTube.
Okay. All right. It is not an OnlyFans. We will have our clothes on. Unless Delon suddenly something changes.
It's too big.
And if you're listening, you're like, what's happening? Delon just showed us some shoulder action. Oh, God. Okay, well, just I got a little flustered. So we are going to keep doing the show. We're just moving solely to YouTube in our unedited raw format. We're still going to put out new episodes on Wednesday over on our YouTube channel. We've been toying with a July date. We don't have the date exactly. We will put it in our description box once we have that settled. This is just going to be a much easier lift for us because it's going to require less writing. Do not get me wrong. We love the writing. She's a writer. He's a writer. But these episode outlines,
girl.
And here's the thing too. I gotta say, I was surprised that you did all of this for this one. I was like, I said, Delon, we talked about this. We're like, here's what we're gonna do for our, audio finale. We're gonna keep it light and cute, bullet points. And Delon is like, I was struggling. I opened this motherfucker. I said, Delon.
7 pages? Was it 5 pages?
Why?
Well, you know what? Well, you know how it is, Fran. Like, you start and you you want to explain it, and you're like, well, what's the flow of the thing, and how does it make sense, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, God damn, I got to explain this whole thing.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't know that our listeners really understand because, to our credit, we're good. You know what I mean? We be slipping in. If you watch the video, you see us tripping over our words and starting over again. But there is a lot of this show that is scripted. We are sometimes writing 8 to 10 pages just to get through an episode. For context, our Jussie Smollett episode in season 1, which is one of our my favorite episodes.
Yes.
Lacey Mosley was our guest. 15 pages long. That's a dissertation. We're not using ChatGPT over here.
Girl, okay? Ain't nobody using Wikipedia at best, okay?
Okay, we are writing, all right?
Where the fuck is my PhD, okay? So, class, we're just coming off a little hiatus where we took a knee. We needed to take a breath, have a snack, replenish ourselves and just think a little bit. So, and I hope y'all did the same thing. I hope y'all are taking some time this summer. And I'm not talking about taking your family to Disneyland or Six Flags. I'm talking about like sitting the fuck down. Take your family to Disneyland. I hope that's great. All good and well. But sometimes you need to take a knee. And I personally never fully relax when I go on a vacation or when I take a break until like the 3rd day. You know what I mean? Friend, you and I go on a vacation together all the time. And it's not until like I'm like, after we've had dinner, we've arrived, we've had dinner. The next day I'm like, oh, There's nothing to do. I don't have to go anywhere.
I mean,
Let me calm down. Okay, great.
it's like the full day of travel,
Yeah.
and then like when you get to the hotel or the Airbnb or whatever, you're kind of like, oh, I gotta get my bags down, and where am I gonna eat? It's just like you're not really on vacation yet
Right.
until about day 2. So
Right. Well,
I'm
and
with you there.
it's like, and it's like I can see the Red Sea part. It's like a vacation bliss just kind of comes over you. So class,
Hmm.
we're Let Me Fix It is in that third day vacation bliss workflow. We're taking breaks, which was instrumental for that, but now we're progressing into our bliss stage that is an
Yeah.
evolution.
And the afterpods have been so fun, and the response has been so positive, where people have said like, I love this unscripted format. And so what I'm excited for us to figure out is like this next iteration of the show to have that same unscripted feel, but with like a little bit of direction,
Yeah.
and doing a little bit more topical stuff. Again,
Hmm.
that's the thing that I um really discovered doing our movie focus season is over on YouTube. Whenever we did a trending movie, whether it was Sinners or It Ends With Us, those did really well for us.
Amelia Perez, they love
Emilia
that one.
Perez, like those did really
Yeah.
well for us. And even the previous season, when we did a repeat of our Thanksgiving episode, like that did really well for us when we talked
Yeah.
about, the girl who got disinvited to her Thanksgiving. Like that was one of our bigger episodes. And I was really kind of surprised, but it speaks to the nature of the internet.
Mm.
And ultimately, what I really want is for us to reach as many people as possible. And the challenge of doing the audio and the video is we've been splitting our audience. Like,
Right, right.
not everybody's going to watch the video, not everyone's listening to the audio. So, our hope is if we can get you guys to the YouTube channel, it will be a better use of our time, but also will make us a little bit of money.
Right. Well, and we're also to your point, friend. We're also listening to y'all, right?
Yes.
Like the episodes that do really well tend to be the topical ones. Tend
Yeah.
to be, like you said, the internet culture of it, like what is right now. And so, we've really worked on this evergreen thing, but like
Yeah.
now we are listening to y'all, and let's make it topical and see how that goes.
Yeah, and to be clear, because who knows when people will be tuning into this episode, our entire catalog is going to stay up. So you'll be
Right.
able to listen to past episodes. We are also going to go back and put some past episodes as a video onto YouTube. We've got some episodes that we just never posted.
Uh-huh.
And to your point about listening to the audience, people love seeing us talk to each other,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if you are somebody that's only been listening to the audio, we hope that you will join us on YouTube. There's no reason that you can't play the episode in the background. You don't have to
Uh-huh.
actually physically watch us.
I do it all the time.
There's a YouTube Music app, so you can still listen to us
Oh.
via YouTube. But I'm excited for us again to just figure out what this next season, this next chapter looks like.
Hmm.
And the thing again that you kind of mentioned is that we really focused on these evergreen topics. And class, if you're not familiar, the concept of evergreen is marketing and internet speak for content that doesn't become outdated. So it's content that remains relevant and valuable for an extended period of time, unlike content tied to specific trends and news cycles. And that was like a thing that was really important to
It really
us.
was.
But like we said in our opening, the world is on fire, and there's just so many news and current events that we can't avoid talking about, nor do we want to.
Right.
And if this is Earth's season finale, which is a thing that I have said, I can't even tell you how many times I've said it. Let Me Fix It is now hosting the reunion special over on YouTube.
Okay. We got the hot takes, we got the politics, we got the news, we got the pop culture and we're going to be still fixing it, right? We're going to be
Yes.
fixing all of it and offering our opinions. It's a little less nostalgia, perhaps, a little more what the fuck is going on,
Yeah.
like a little less back in the day and a little more what the fuck did she say, right?
Yeah. And still, how do we fix it?
Yes, which is a great segue to a topic that we really want to get to today, class, because we have topics. Frank, we do like a little Broadway corner and talk about Patti LuPone.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. And I will also say the inbox over on Instagram at FixItPod has been blowing up with requests for this topic. So please
Wow.
get into it.
Well, we're a little late to this because we took a
Mm-hmm.
little hiatus when this was all happening. But just to give you like a little recap here, class. So Patti LuPone is a Broadway diva. The Tony Awards are Broadway's prestigious award ceremony that just happened this month. Leading up to the ceremony, Patti LuPone, Broadway legend, box office draw, had a sit down with the New Yorker, right, where
Mm-hmm.
she gave a really spicy interview. Now, Patti LuPone is known for being salty. She's known for like saying stuff that nobody would say. She's been in 28 Broadway shows. She's like started in 1973, so she's like a Broadway mainstay. And we kind of let septuagenarians, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
can't even say it. SAT
Yes.
word. People in their 70s say what they want to say at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the article comes out, and one of the things she says in the article is that she challenges another Broadway diva, this woman Keisha Lewis, who won a Tony last year for Hell's Kitchen, which is Alicia Keys' musical that's on Broadway.
Mm.
And Patti LuPone compares her by saying, like, who is this bitch? How many Broadway
Mm-hmm.
shows is she even in? And
Mm-hmm.
Keisha Lewis has been in 10 Broadway shows. Having been on Broadway, ready, flex, you don't know how hard it is how competitive it is to get on Broadway. To be in 10 Broadway shows, sure, you're 28, Patty,
And
absolutely.
didn't she like undercut her by being like, she's only been in like 8? Like
Yeah.
she called out a number that was incorrect.
And inflated her own. Said, I've been in 30 Broadway shows, 28, turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this all stems from noise complaints. So these Broadway theaters are really small. Manhattan is very small. These I forget what show Patti LuPone was in, but she was in a show, a 2-person show with Mia Farrow, The Roommate. It's called The Roommate.
Mm.
And then Hell's Kitchen, Patti LuPone's dressing room and Keisha Lewis's dressing room butted up against each other. You can hear everything, right? You lived in New York. You can just hear everything. It's a part.
You can hear your neighbor fart. I mean, it's criminal.
Okay. I hear my neighbors currently vacuuming at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So, Black people, we're loud, we're joyful, we laugh. And I guess like there was something happening in Keisha's dressing room and Patty didn't like it. Patty's a legend. So she called the Schubert organization, who owns both theaters, and had them soundproof Keisha Lewis's dressing room.
Girl.
Okay. Keisha went on IG like we do nowadays and said that's racist and had a whole said something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Audra McDonald, who's another Broadway legend, Black actress, I think she's won like 6 or 7 Tonys, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Most decorated Tony winner. Reposted it. Patty said in the article, well, Audra McDonald's no friend. Then the Broadway community got together. 500 people signed this open letter asking Broadway to divest from Patti LuPone, which
is insane,
bold, and also amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Patti LuPone came out with an apology.
Yeah.
Which should we read this even? Is it even worth reading?
If there's something specific you want to address in it, I think a lot of people, the general consensus was it was a well-written. I mean, I did see people saying like, "Oh, this is a PR apology." It's like, yeah, of course it's gonna be a
That's
fucking
what apologies are.
Of course, like that's what it is.
Right.
And I saw people saying like, "Oh, it doesn't feel authentic." Da, 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 da. And I'm of the mind like I would rather you work with someone to craft a well-written apology rather than just like throw something together.
Right.
I also think text is better than video because video is easy for you to meander.
Yes.
And it was an interview in a print magazine. So to me, it feels, like a similar venue to have it be written out. I was really impressed by Audra. There was like an interview where they asked her about it and she said, I don't know what she's talking about.
She said, you'll have to ask her. You'll have to ask her.
I'm sorry. I need all of us to keep that same energy.
Yes.
Because I don't really know that much about Patti LuPone, but granted that 500 Broadway actors came together to say something, it's obvious that she has a reputation of being nasty.
Yes.
And so Audra didn't give her what Patti wanted, which is like nastiness back. It's like, I'm taking the high road. I don't know what she's talking.
When they go low, we go high. Come on, Michelle. And
and listen, there's a lot of conversation around, especially in our current political climate, of like the going high,
right.
got us
it's not working.
It's not working, da 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 da. And I think there is a time and a place where going low is worthy. But this was a perfect example of, even how decorated Audra is, and even considering that Patty was really nasty, if she had matched the energy, you know that they would have painted her as the angry
Oh
black
God, yeah.
woman. It would have been losing game for her.
Yes.
So to just keep it cute was the best thing that she could do.
My favorite part of the whole thing is, Gail King interviews her. I think it was on CBS
Mm-hmm.
Sunday Morning, and the shot of Audra just listening to the question, just a smirk on her face, waiting for her to, and she just kind of gives a head shake. You'll have to
Mm,
ask her. I don't
incredible.
know anything about that. You'll have to ask her.
Incredible.
It's
Mm-hmm.
deflect.
Yeah,
Um,
I love that.
the one thing I will say about Patty's apology is she does say, because of the open letter that all those artists signed, she does say, I wholeheartedly agree with everything that was in that letter. Right.
Yeah.
She's like, I've always spoken my mind. And, I respect that. I think we've talked about apologies a lot on this podcast. And the first step of it is I acknowledge I
Yeah.
have done something wrong.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I really do respect that.
I think I also read that she reached out to Audra and
Keisha.
Keisha
Oh,
offline,
really?
which I always think is the right thing to
Snaps to
do.
that. Snaps to
Always think
that.
that's the right thing to do. You know me, I'm gonna always go back to my trusty hit single. Instead of an empty apology, write a check.
Talk about it.
I would love to see her invest some money in some black arts programs. I think that would have
Yes.
you're never gonna lose by giving some money away. But I do think this is one of those things where a lot of people really struggle to actually understand what microaggressions are.
Mm.
They are so adverse to admitting something could be racist, A, unintentionally, and B, without some slurs. Be like, I didn't say any slurs. I just said you nappy headed Negroes are loud. It's like, yes, that's racist.
Well, and also, like, let's talk about the loud. Like, I don't mean to, like, honestly, objectively, I don't mean to dismiss Patty's complaint,
Mm-hmm.
right? You might, I've gone upstairs to my neighbors when they're having a party. Boom, boom, boom. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to sleep. I know it's Saturday, but
Yeah.
if you could just, my negotiation is just not above my bedroom. Like, y'all
Right.
can have the party, just like I'm
Yeah.
trying to go to bed, right? So I hear Patty's complaint, but it's about the way she did it. She used her
Yes.
privilege and her power to go above. She didn't have a conversation with them. She
Right.
called the owner of the theater and said, hey, do something about this. There
Well,
being X, Y, and Z. And
and look,
that's the micro. It's kind of macro,
yes.
in my opinion, right?
Yeah, that it
Macro
definitely
aggressive.
has the like I want to speak to the manager energy
Come on, Karen.
when you could literally just talk to your peer, okay? Like
Thank
you
you.
you want to, brag about how many shows you've been in. Bitch, we sharing a wall. So like we on the same block.
Right. Right.
You not above me. You next door. You
Right.
can look me in the eye. And that's where she really fucked up, because if she had just left it, and here's the thing too, Keisha's allowed to say whatever it is she wants to say
Yes.
about the facts of the situation. If it had just stayed at that, it would have been fine. Patty had to take it the step further and say, who is she? I don't know her. And that's where she really fucked up. She could have
Yeah.
kept all that in the group chat. She didn't have to go on record and say
Yes.
any of that
Yes.
stuff. She's allowed to feel her feelings, but the way she acted was wholly unprofessional. And honestly, I want all the drama behind the 500 names. Who else has Patty pissed off?
Well, let
Because
me.
everybody was like,
Well,
yes, and.
well, let's go through her shit though. So
Mm.
Patty LuPone, when she was playing, Audra McDonald is currently playing Mama Rose in
Mhm.
Gypsy on Broadway. But when Patty LuPone was playing was it Mama Rose? I think it was. She yelled at somebody in the audience for being on their phone, like stopped mid song and yelled at somebody. And
Girl.
then another time, she yelled at somebody for taking photos.
Mm.
The person taking photos was hired by her team to take photos of her. She's yelling at her own employee, right? The other thing, she was in Company, the last revival of Company on Broadway, and she is no longer part of Actors Equity, which is the actors union.
Okay.
We all have complaints about the actors union as a part of it, right? Whatever. But she's Patty LuPone, who has a lot of cachet, privilege, and power. And the idea that you're just burning your equity card and saying, like, I'm done with equity, I don't need it anymore, is a slap in the face to the rest of us who do need it, right? Who
Yeah.
do need the health
And
insurance.
is that just like a like what is that about? Like
100% performative.
yeah.
100%. And even
Okay.
even even the dissing Keisha Lewis was like, "Oh girl, you were just trying to be cute. You were just trying to
Right.
get a sound bite or
Yeah.
a headline, you know?"
Yeah.
So that's why people are already sour on Patty. And
Mm-hmm.
you can say what you want to say, but at the end of the day, with the same thing I say with these comedians who complain left and right about how you can't say anything anymore. You can't say anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No,
You
you
can
can
say
say
whatever
what
you want.
you say what the fuck you say whatever the fuck you want. I'm also allowed to be critical
Mm-hmm.
though. Like y'all need to
Mm-hmm.
get out your fifis and just
Yeah.
get a backbone.
Yeah, that was a wild turn of events. And I'm proud of the people who stood in solidarity with Keisha and Audra, but it also is kind of sad that this is what it took. Because obviously she's
Yeah.
been doing this stuff for a minute, and there were probably previous times where some people should have gotten together and signed a letter
Mm-hmm.
so that
Mm-hmm.
this we wouldn't have gotten to this point. Because she's clearly been unchecked this whole time,
Right.
you know?
Right, which is also gross. That's a lot of power. It's a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Let's move into our news corner, Klaus. This is a new thing we're trying. We're trying to just kind of like do the fix as we go, rather than having a
yes.
whole segment. So, you can look forward to this over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@fixitpod. Delon, this is I feel like going to be your area of expertise because you are our news aficionado. We bombed Iran. What the fuck is this? World War III? What's going on
I
there?
think,
Like, I don't know that there's a fix here, but
yeah.
how are we feeling? How are we coping with this?
I think we're all kind of holding our breath
Mm.
because, like, the talk around Iran doing something not only to Israel but to us, or them being a nuclear threat, has
Hmm.
just been like pervasive for decades,
Yeah.
right? We were in a nuclear deal with them that Trump got us out of in 2015 to make sure that they didn't get a nuclear weapon, so
Hmm.
that we took sanctions off of them. There was a big deal that the Obama administration worked out, and just because the Obama's administration worked it out, Trump hated it and got us out of it, which is why we're here now, right?
Yeah.
But Israel bombed them, and then Israel
Hmm.
found out because then Iran sent a lot of bombs to Israel,
Hmm.
and their
Hmm.
Iron Dome is now collapsing. It's
Hmm.
they're in trouble over there.
Yeah.
But because we can't help but support Israel and fight for Israel, we then bombed Iran, which was also stupid. And now they
It's
just bombed a one of our bases over there in Qatar,
yeah.
and so
Yeah.
we're just kind of in. I think we are on the cusp of it. I don't know how we get out of this because Trump doesn't have any sense of like maturity, stability, knowledge
This
to
motherfucker is over on Truth Social
talk about it.
going through it. Like, just no decorum, no present. I mean, like, we knew this about him, but it is so disorienting
I know,
to drop bombs and then essentially tweet because it's on Truth Social, it's not Twitter.
right?
To then, it's almost like he's writing a blog post after it. It's just like, this
Well,
is
yeah,
so
he
unserious.
bombed them. Then he said, "Now it's time to talk about peace." I said, "Peace."
Just,
After
just no, the gaslighting is out of control, and it
crazy.
just, the thing that I keep thinking about is how spoiled we are in
Yes.
America because, 9/11 was horrific. I don't want a repeat of 9/11, but I can't help but think about the fact it's 9/11 every fucking day around the world.
I mean, talk
You know
about
what
it,
and like
especially in that area of the world.
hello, the Middle East. There's always been some shit going on over there. And I saw a meme that was like a person in America on like, a beautiful suburban street, and they were like, "Oh my god, are we getting ready to be in a war?" And then like the other panel was someone in Iran with like bombs behind them, with like rolling their eyes like, "Bitch, shut the fuck up." That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I am worried, but I'm also like I'm worried from a place of privilege. Like
Yes.
I'm sitting in my home, like I'm not thinking like, "Oh my god, when I leave my house to go to the grocery store, I might not come back. But that's not
Or
in.
is the grocery store still there?
Or is the grocery store still going to be there? Or like, I'm going to go to work and find out that like half my coworkers aren't alive. Like that is the reality in many places in the world. And it is just so frustrating because, this reminds me of, I think it was our freshman year at Michigan when the war started post 9/11, the war in Iraq. Feeling so sad, but also feeling so powerless. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yes.
Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't want this. And, you think about 9/11, you think about the potential of terror attacks. And again, I don't want that to happen, but I'm like, I'm not surprised people in other countries fucking hate us.
Yes.
I'm not surprised. Their version of us is Donald Trump.
Yes.
Even though they know a lot of us didn't vote for it, but like, that is how our nation treats other places. Your government does something that we quote unquote don't like. Okay, we're dropping bombs, and the innocent people on the ground are like, I didn't fucking, but like I have nothing to do with this. It is so it's so infuriating, and I am sad for the people on the ground, the innocent people on the ground. I'm also sad for our troops, people who got roped into fucking signing up. Whatever you think about the military, we cannot deny that they fucking prey on poor people and they prey on high school students.
Yes.
They get you to fucking sign your life away, really not knowing what you're signing up for and just thinking, oh, I'll never go to war. Nothing's going to happen. And now I saw a video of a girl on TikTok in the armed forces. She's like, ooh, look at, they made a steak and lobster. Everyone's like, that's a deployment meal, mama. they're
Not your last rights.
she's like, look at how cool this is, y'all. Y'all ain't eating like this on the outside. Everyone's like, yeah, that's...
Slow down, Sally. Slow down now. But the other thing about like so much respect for people who serve, like immense respect for people who serve. But to your point about them preying on, they get these people in and they do give them like signing bonuses, and they offer them like college, a free college and all these things through the GI Bill or whatever it is. And then when you are a veteran who's then come home or whatever,
you're on your own, bitch.
You're on your own. They're cutting services from the VA. They're cutting the VA for Veteran Affairs. And you're like, well, wait a minute.
Most of our homeless people are former vets.
What are you talking about? So you're like, I'm supposed to revere the military, but you can't take care of the people who serve the country after? It's so backward. It's so backward.
And the other thing about it is, too, I saw someone say this online, so hopefully I don't butcher it, but the reason that we don't have free healthcare, the reason that we don't have free college is so they can rope your ass into serving in the military.
Wow.
That's where you can get it. Can't get it out here.
Wow.
So of course they make it look really alluring.
Yeah.
And,
especially if you're poor. Like that stuff's taken care of? Like, let me go do that.
Especially if you are poor and you know that you're not going to be able to go to college. You can't afford it. Your parents haven't gone. And or you've never traveled. They also tell you, you get to see the world. I don't want to see the world.
You're going to see a part of the world. A part of the world.
Yeah. You're also going to be put in situations where you are going to have to kill people and see up close death. And then to your point about cutting the veteran services, you're going to get out and you are going to be wrestling with all this traumatic shit.
Yeah.
And no one's going to help you. They're all going to pretend it didn't happen.
Right.
No.
Or you're going to be sitting... the other thing is sitting on the phone, I was going to say, too, with the VA trying to get services. The other thing I heard, and I think that I can't remember where I heard this, but I think it was from someone who actually served or somebody who knows somebody who served. You don't get like a lifetime salary or like benefits unless you serve a certain number of years in the military, which on paper I know that looks and sounds right. But let me tell you, if I go to Qatar, and I'm serving at the base for 3 years, and I'm just shy of whatever the cap is. Let's say it's 4 years for an argument, for sake of the argument. You're telling me I've put my whole life at risk and you can't take care of me?
It's a
And I
fucking
get
scam.
it. I get it because they think people are going to take advantage of the system. But you're taking advantage of you've created the system and you're taking advantage of people. So
1,000%.
you're asking me to put
Those
my
are the
body at
rules,
risk.
bitch. You made the rules. You
That
could
part.
just change them.
That part. And we are the richest country in the world. It's just nuts to me.
Yeah, our priorities are all fucked up because there's some other people that have free healthcare
Free
over there
college.
and free
Yep.
college. They have all of the things,
And I
and
think we might send them money.
we send them
No,
we send them tons.
I'm
We
being
send them tons of
facetious.
money. We send them tons of money, and also, just so y'all know, no one else is allowed to have bombs but them. None for you, all for me. Like it's
crazy.
It's really fucked up. And here, Delon, I sent you a text about this. It is a cold day in hell because I saw a video of Tucker Carlson going toe to toe with Ted Cruz about Iran and Israel, and I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? This is crazy. And let me be clear, I'm not going to compliment that man, but here's what I will say. It's really fucked up to show that you actually do have journalistic integrity, but only when the check is right. Because this motherfucker has been playing in our faces for decades. And now suddenly he wants to talk some sense because he lost his job over at Fox.
Well, and this is a great segue because I also want to talk about, I think this is another topic, not one that I have on the doc here, but when I thought about the rebrand. Right? Because Tucker Carlson's smart as fuck. He took an opportunity and he's seizing it. And you know who also is trying to rebrand herself?
Clandis.
Clandis, the Clan Owens.
Listen,
and they think we're stupid. Talk about playing in your face. You think I'm stupid, Candace?
Let me just say, if Clandis has no haters, I'm fucking 6 feet under. If I ever catch that bitch in these streets, crazy. She is a certifiably terrible person.
100%.
But to your point about the rebrand, I saw that shit coming from miles away.
Did you?
Yes, 1,000%. Because you know who else did a rebrand? Christian Walker, that fucking green-eyed demon.
Talk about seizing an opportunity, though. That was his whole brand. I'm a conservative gay man. And I'm like, they hate your ass, don't you?
Oh, exactly.
Conservative, black, and gay.
Exactly. But again, I saw the writing on the wall with Clandis because as a black woman conservative, your days are fucking numbered.
Absolutely.
Who else has risen up to the ranks? She couldn't get a job in the White House. She was not able to sustain herself. She lost her job at the Daily Wire. And again, who came before her? Omarosa, Stacey Dash, Diamond and Silk.
What's her name? Who served in the Condoleezza Rice? Condi was the first conservative that I remember.
Yeah, but you know what? And listen, I don't agree with all her political views, but she wasn't like, you know what? Racism's not real.
Right. Slavery was something they wanted.
But when she went up against Clarence Thomas, look what fucking happened. So it's like you play the game to be like, oh, I'm conservative, I'm chaste, I'm blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, you still black.
Yeah.
You're still a woman. They don't fuck with you. They are going to kick you to the curb as soon as you are no longer useful to them. And here Candace is just the absolute fucking worst. You cannot sit with us. It has been so frustrating to see people fall for it.
I'm really annoyed. I'm really annoyed that people are giving her, what is it, the Breakfast Club giving her space? I was like, why are you putting this bitch on? Why are you putting this bitch on?
That's another one. But but you know what? There have been too many black men that have been giving her grace to come and tap dance with them. And I think it's really interesting. Not that I would like to see a black woman go head to head with her, but it's interesting that she knows she could never go toe to toe with an Angela Rye. Never. She knows she couldn't fucking hold her own.
Ooh, I would love to see it though. Ooh, I would love to see it.
Oh, Angela would rip her ass up, but she knows she can go talk to a Charlemagne because he will go soft on her.
Right.
And he's not smart. He doesn't have the political background. You know what I mean? So she can kind of do all the double speak in the shit.
Yes.
And he's not able to really keep. Or she did like a panel with T.I. Ma'am, what is T.I. don't know what he's talking about.
And it's also,
Why are you
it's
talking
like,
to
I mean,
him?
I know this is stupid to say because like it's Candace Owens, but like it is so reductive to go, I'm gonna go to the rapper. I'm gonna go
Of
to
course,
the rapper and
of
try to
course,
and talk circles around him and try to relate in that way. Like, girl, what?
of
Like that's
course.
so gross.
She's not going to go talk to, an actual political pundit because, again, like, I'm not going to sit here and give her cookies for anything, but ultimately, she's not stupid. These people are very cunning, conniving.
Right.
They are very
Debaters.
manipulative.
They know how
They
to debate.
they know how to debate, but they also use a lot of bad faith techniques
Yes.
that they know can give them points with an audience that's not really politically adept. And the reality is, a lot of the things that they are talking about are very complicated issues. This is what
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump is really good at, is that
Ugh,
he
good
gives you
at
the
Jesus
easy, well, I
Christ.
mean, good at, he
Yeah, he
gives you
is.
the easy, bigoted answer that's not the truth,
Yes.
but it's easy and digestible. And
Right.
then when you say, like, well, what's the real answer? It's like, well, it's actually, do you have like 45 minutes?
Right, right,
You know what
right.
I
Because
mean?
well,
Like,
because people are stupid and they don't read. Like
right.
that's a part of it, right? It's the lowest common denominator, the lowest hanging fruit. You're so right. The thing that I want to say about there's no fix for Tucker, there's no fix for Candace or Donald Trump, but I do think like having these conversations where we refuse to let their former brand be eclipsed by whatever the fuck they're doing now is the move, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yes, one great conversation, Tucker. I watched it a million times. Was really glad it happened. But I know who the fuck you are, and
Oh,
you are
yeah.
not. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
we're not rewriting history here.
Yeah, and ultimately, it is the silver lining is that people are getting exposed, the Ted Cruzes of the world, so to
Right.
speak. But for me, the thing that's so frustrating is like, how, it's taken us this long, and is it too little, too late? Like, Trump is still the president. Like y'all are, getting your barbs in on Twitter and like getting retweets and getting, comments and new followers. What do we get?
Well,
Like,
you know what I would say? I would say to that, like, is it too little, too late? Perhaps, but I would also argue, like, the infighting is not the Schadenfreude I'm feeling from that is glorious, but
yeah.
also like the it's breaking down. Like when you
Mm,
to your point about Donald Trump, when your entire universe is built on lies, eventually
mm,
it's got to collapse because like we need the truth, right? You're talking about
yeah.
running the United States government. You're talking about bombing another country. You're talking about our lives and sustainability, our money, financial system. Like you can only lie so much before like the numbers aren't the math isn't mathing when we go.
Yeah.
But like eggs are still $9, right? So
Well,
like
and
you can lie to my
listen,
face and say they're not, but they are.
I I'm over here with my little electric car. I'm gonna pray for y'all when the gas goes up. Cause the word on the street is
It's
they said,
going.
oh, okay, really? Guess what we about to do? You can't have any like you're
Yeah, they're
not coming
gonna.
over here. There's like a little strip that they close. What is that part
The
called?
Strait of Hormuz. So,
Mm-hmm.
class, what friends talking about is the Iranians were in the 80s. They tried to do it, and they've run war games where they've been able to do it. So, 25% of the world's gas comes from the Middle East, right? And it comes through this very short strip called the Strait of Hormuz. It is connect Saudi Arabia's on one side, on the west side, and Iran's on like the northeast side. So all of that gas and natural gas has to come through and diesel fuel. Iran can just put up some shits and
They said we're not
put
doing
up
it.
some mines or like shoot
Mm-hmm.
down some shit and we will be fucked. Not only
Oh no.
us, like the entire world.
Oh,
Like
they already said they're gonna do it.
we produce our own natural gas, which is great, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still going to affect everybody. It's going to
Oh
affect
yeah.
because the price of it is going to go up. We're
Mm-hmm.
ah,
Oh yeah. We are absolutely fucked. And like I said, me, I'm plugging my shit in at night.
I mean,
I'm
she ain't going but 5 miles. She can't go with a 5 mile radius in that damn electric car. But she gonna be fine.
You know what? It's gonna cost me $2 to do it, and I'm gonna be fine.
But wait, electricity is gonna go up too. That's why I was like, well, I don't even have a car, but electricity is gonna go up too, girl, because
Oh God.
that's how our fucking electric company electricity works. It's on gas.
All right. Well, then I spoke too soon.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay.
All right. Do you want to do this little gossip
Yes.
corner?
The gossip corner. Yeah, let's do the gossip corner. So I read this. I came upon this. There's this actress, Anna Camp, who was in Pitch Perfect. I don't remember her from this, but
I remember her.
But she's dating this younger woman named Jade Whipkey.
Mm-hmm.
Anna's 42. Jade is 24, and people are.
She said, "Flip it and reverse it."
And people were coming for Anna, being like this 18-year age gap, and she was like, "Mind your whole business."
Yeah.
So I guess like the hot take of this all is like, what is our thoughts on like an age gap? Is it like mind your business, or is it like, yo, 18 is like.
I'm okay with an age gap as long as the younger person is in like the mid to late 20s.
Her.
I think it's, and 24 is kind of cutting it close for my comfort. I mean, do what you got to do. But I'm more skeptical when the person is like 18, 19.
Any teen
or even 20, 21.
Yes.
I feel like that's just you're really not a fully baked human yet.
Right.
To the 24 does feel like cutting it close, but I will also say 42 doesn't feel that old.
Not in 2025.
Not because I'm 42.
That's why I said it, because people still think I'm 30, especially without this beard.
It's not that bad.
My knees don't work, but
Now, would I date a 24-year-old? No, I don't think I could.
Well, would you? Here's the question: would you? Not a 24-year-old man. I mean, no, because he's fully not baked. Ready?
God, no. The youngest man, you'll remember this. Fresh off my divorce, I dated a man who was 27, and I had many a times where I was like, "Holy shit!" And I was, 36, so like a 10-year difference. And I'll never forget. We were watching Love Jones, and there was a scene where they went to the payphone to call for a cab, and this man said to me, he was like, can you imagine having to use a payphone? And I was like, can I imagine? No, I have used one before. I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
That is so fucking crazy.
Oh God, he was nice guy, but just so young. And so sometimes I think about that, and especially when it's a man with a younger woman, it often feels like they are
praying a little
trying to take advantage of like them not knowing the world. And that's not to say that women can't also be predatory. This is a queer relationship, but I have more skepticism when it's that early 20s. At least again, 24 is cutting it close, but like you've lived, you've graduated from high school, you've presumably lived out on your own for a little bit. You're not like completely bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. What do you think?
I mean, no, I'm of the same mind. I mean, have I hooked up with people in their early 20s? Yes. Am I dating somebody, a dude? Probably not. Just because, like, I want to go to your apartment where you live alone, and you probably have a roommate.
You probably have roommates.
You know what I mean? And listen, have a whole apartment that you can come to. Like I live on my own. But I think are looking for people that we can build something with.
Yeah.
And that feels like a stop and not a destination. Early 20s for me.
Well, and the thing, I will say this, Anna Camp, if you're listening, I understand being frustrated that people are having judgments or projecting onto your relationship, but also you a celebrity, mama. You are news. Like
optics.
This is just like people are going to talk about you, and
they're so interested in who you're dating.
Yeah, and I think ultimately what more celebs have to get comfortable with, and I will say this is something that I've personally had to work on, is letting go of what strangers fucking think about you and just realizing like you can't control it, and oftentimes responding to it just makes it worse because
that's what they want. Right.
Because honestly, no shade. Who always talk about.
Girl, I barely know who Anna Camp is.
I don't know who either of these people are.
Right.
This feels like a publicity stunt because again, now we're talking about you. I
Right,
don't know who these
right.
people are. So
Yeah, and I'm of the mind of mind your business, right? Like it's nobody's business. So I like her clapping back and be like, "Girl, I'm gonna eat this pussy and let it keep it pushing."
please
You
don't.
know?
Oh my
And
god.
keep it pushing. So now that we've gone over this newer version of Let Me Fix It, it's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Glow Up, where we give props to those who turn themselves around without our help. But first, let's take a quick break. And we're back.
And we're back. Dawn, is it okay if I go first?
Please, please.
Okay. I feel like we've talked about this before, but this feels new for me. My glow up is going to audiobooks. I have
Oh.
been Delon.
Oh, you have been talking about this. You've been taking Flex on long walks and
Listen, so I've been trying to get these steps up. Okay, the perimenopause is kicking my ass, and the ass is getting wider. It's too big. It's too wide. So I'm trying to get my steps up, trying to hit that 10,000 a day. And every time I was out there walking, I was like, motherfuck, this is a long time. You got to be outside for like an hour. And then plus some extra time to get to the 10,000.
Wow.
So I was just out there being like, I am so bored. And, I'm a podcast girly, but, sometimes the podcast isn't really like, it's just if it's the wrong topic and the wrong guest. I'm just like, ugh, I'm
Or
kind of
you've
over
gone
that.
through them for that week. You listen to them a lot and you're like, oh, well, there's nothing new I want to listen to, right?
Exactly. And so I'm just like, ugh. And so I decided I was going to, switch it up and listen to some audiobooks. Delon, let me tell you, if you see me walking around the streets of Los Angeles, you're going to see me going, ooh,
Crying.
God.
Wait, are you listening to fiction? Are you listening to
Yes.
now, is it like a romance novel?
No, I'm not listening to romance. I'm listening to a lot of like, it's not like soap opera-y, but like I just listened to it's a lot of like suspense.
Okay.
So I listened to this book called The List, which was about a woman, she's about to get engaged, and right before she's engaged right before their wedding, this list comes out of abusive men in the entertainment industry, and her fiance is on the list. And it turns into this like, did he really do it? Should we go through with the wedding? And the book is like a daily countdown to like 30 days to the wedding, 20 days to the wedding.
Oh,
And
that's
like,
smart. It's very what was that show with Kiefer Sutherland? 24.
Oh, 24. Yes.
Yeah, that was...
And like each chapter, it's like her perspective, one chapter, his perspective,
Oh,
one chapter, like
nice.
going back and forth. And then I listened to this book called Yellow Face, which was about this this writer who her friend, or like kind of like frenemy, is a very successful author, and she passes away unexpectedly, and the girl steals her manuscript and puts it out as her own manuscript.
Wow.
And it's kind of like following as her life and career kind of like blows up over this, but then like the secret of, she stole this manuscript. These are not spoilers. These are part of the book jacket. So it's a lot of suspenseful, like twists and turns, and it's great because let me tell you, I'm out there getting those steps. I'm passing 10K a day, bitch.
Wow.
Because I'm out there, and Salon Flex is looking at me like, why are we still out here? I'm like, we got one more. Let me just do one more chapter. We're going to circle this block one more time.
but he's getting fit and tight, I'm sure, too. I have to say, I love this for you. It's also like the most geriatric thing in the world. I love it. But I also like listen to audiobooks, not like to this extent to get these 10,000 steps, but like it's joy. It's like a personal little joyful thing that you can do for you to fill your day. It's like you journal, right? It's like journaling. It's like self-care in that way. So I love that you're doing it.
Yeah, and I've really told myself, because sometimes I come home and I want to keep listening, and I say, no, I do not listen at home. I can only listen when I'm taking my walks. That's the only time that I'll listen to it. And it's been so delightful. I think I've gotten through I think I've gotten through like 6 or 8 books in the past like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because
You
I'm
know,
just listening to them all the time.
we've had this conversation, this debate about like, is listening to an audiobook reading a book, right? And some
Yeah.
people would say it's not. I think you're still consuming the story,
Yeah.
and the content of it. And I think like if that's your way in to reading or consuming story,
Yeah.
why are we even qualifying it? Like,
Yeah.
yes,
I
six to
don't.
eight books, that's fucking badass.
Yeah, I personally think it's silly to get into like, is it reading or is it not? Because I think to your point, you're still getting something out of it.
Right.
I will also add, I think I did. I don't think I sent you this article, but MIT did a study about the cognitive decline from people who use ChatGPT too
Oh
much.
God, yes.
And basically, it was just saying, like, if you don't use it, you lose it. So if you're not
Mm-hmm.
reading, and you're using ChatGPT to like read a book for you and write a paper, you are losing that function of your brain. And so when I think about listening to an audiobook, sure, maybe you are not visually reading it, but you are like processing the
Yeah.
information, and you are, for me, I put my phone on do not disturb, so I'm not getting text messages,
Good
i'm
for
not i'm
you.
not scrolling, I'm not like doing double duty, I'm like fully focused and immersed into the book. And I would argue that that is just if, as good for your brain, probably not the exact same as reading,
Sure.
but it's still like it's still stimulating the part of your brain that's like executive functions and like processing. And I think that that's still really good for you. So if you're someone who's not a reader in the
Yes.
traditional sense, like, why not?
Well,
Like,
and I also just a suggestion there, and I don't know if it's still part of like the premium level of Spotify that,
that's
but
where I'm
they'd
getting my
oh,
books.
great. They'd introduced like they're not. It's not every audiobook in the world, right?
No.
But some they have some new releases and things like that, so it's free with your Spotify Premium. If you not sponsored
Yeah.
here, not
Yeah,
sponsored.
it is. And you know what I'm going to say? Shout out to Reese Witherspoon because she has a little book list. I've gotten a few books off her list that
Okay.
have, listen, recession indicator. She said, I'm an actress. I also have a blog. So,
Girl, that's why all
but
these
she,
celebrities are doing every brand,
podcasts.
everything.
Everyone has a podcast, but
Right.
she has a great little list, and it's all very women centered stories,
Hey, Dad.
romance, romance, but there is a lot of like intrigue and mystery and suspense, and like that's really my lane. So
Cute.
I've gotten a few books off of that reading list. So if you're looking for something to listen to or read, I say check out her recommendations.
Cute,
All
cute.
right, what's your glow up?
So I hate to like be a total Broadway girly, but I'm a
Mm.
Broadway girly. She's the Broadway baby. Mine goes up to Rachel Ziegler. Why? Y'all remember when we did our Snow White episode and we talked about Rachel
Mm-hmm.
Ziegler, and I ended by saying, "Let me say one more thing about
She'll
Rachel.
be fine.
She's gonna be fine because she's doing
Evita.
a Vita on in the West End, and it's thriving.
Oh yeah.
The notices, the reviews are saying she's killing it. Now, people still love to hate this woman. I do not
Mm-hmm.
understand, but she's doing such a great job that people are really praising her performance. And Jamie Lloyd directed it, who also directed Sunset Boulevard. I won't start on Jamie Lloyd because I'm rolling my eyes at him and his like just doing the same thing over and over again. Very gimmicky director. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the things he does in the West End is that Evita comes outside, and she's on this balcony. And Rachel Ziegler, who's playing Evita, sings a song
To outside. Yeah.
to the outside. And I think they have a live feed and they like pump it into the theater so people in the theater can see it as well. But it's going crazy on social media. I see it on TikTok all the
It's
time.
really,
So
really
I'm
clever marketing.
so smart. I told you that bitch will be fine. So I'm giving
Oh
it
yeah.
up to Rachel Ziegler, girl. You
And
got it. Go ahead.
let me just tag team on here. Because when we did the Snow White episode and you said that Rachel Ziegler would be fine, the fucking trolls were all in the comments. Y'all must be paid to say something positive about her.
What?
Her career is over. I was like, what are you guys fucking talking about? And literally, it was right after the Tony nominations had come
Wow.
out, and she, was in the best revival nom for, I think it was a Romeo and Juliet that she was in.
Oh, was it? I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, And so I said in the comments, I was like, yeah, I guess that's why she was just in a play that was nominated for a Tony. This troll said, what are the Tonys? I said, okay, the fact that you don't
Okay,
even know what
get
the
off the
Tonys
internet.
are.
Get off the fucking internet, you idiot.
I said, listen, this just proves that you don't know what you're fucking talking about. But also, she's fine. She's fine. Because I think I
Yes.
even read that she is going to be in a new Broadway play. There was something that was announced recently and a new film. I mean, like,
Yes, she's working.
her career is great. She's so talented. I knew we both knew that she was going to kill it. I have seen some people say, I would be so pissed if I went to go see Evita and then she's performing this part on the, to the audience outside instead of in here. It's like, okay, then don't go.
The no go, and also this is what I hate about sometimes people who aren't even theater goers, but like have these hot takes. Part of being a theater goer, part of going to any live performance is I am suspending my disbelief, right? Meaning like I know that these people are not in the place that they say they are. I know that they are not the people that they say they are, but I am believing it because I'm going along with the story. Part of going is like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to go. So whatever. If part of it is outside, who the fuck cares? I mean, I'm going to come on my podcast and talk shit about it. But you know what I mean? But have a hot take. Like,
but also like it's not a secret. It's not like they sprung this on you.
Right.
Like, okay, actually for tonight's performance, she's not going to sing the song to you. She's going to sing it on the street. No. That has been part of the marketing from day one.
Right,
We saw her rehearsing out there. So again, if you don't want to go see it, then don't fucking go see it. But I can't get over people being angry on behalf of other people who aren't angry about it.
There's also people sitting on their couches just commenting on things on their fucking phone instead of living their lives. So whatever.
I think that, again, it has become cool to hate her. And again, I'll say it for 100th time. Mark my words, in 10 years, everybody is going to be talking about the way folks dogpiled that girl and saying, I can't believe it. It was so bad. Da, 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 da. Because it's ludicrous. She didn't make the decision to be singing out on that balcony.
She didn't make the decision. She didn't make the decision to be Snow White. She's an actor trying to make a check. Ready?
Literally.
Trying to build a career.
Oh my God.
Okay, class. So we've said it. We'll say it again. We're moving things. We're moving Let Me Fix It to YouTube. YouTube.com/@FixItPod. All of our past episodes, like Fran said earlier, will remain on the internet on your favorite podcast app, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music. But if you want new content, head over to YouTube and follow us. Again, youtube.com/@FixItPod. New episodes will drop every Wednesday as we normally do.
We will be back in July. We don't have an official date just yet, but check our description box. We will plug it in there once we have it for certain. And as always, we love hearing from you. Let us know if you have a topic that you want us to discuss, or drop us some sass in the comment section over on YouTube, or hit us up on Instagram @FixItPod, or you can email us lemmefixitpod@gmail.com. Class, you have rocked with us for 80-something episodes.
Come on now. Yes.
It's been more than that.
Yes.
2 years. And again, the show is not ending. We are just pivoting and trying something new. I'm really excited about it, Talon. I'm so proud of us. Like, this has been such a labor of love, but we've made some really funny, smart, interesting, thoughtful episodes that I'm just so proud of. This has been like an incredible experience
today, who was like, and let me just say, the podcast, I know you guys are coming back soon, but he was like, you guys are so fucking funny. I listened to it. It's so endearing. I love it. And I was like, thank you. A lot of our friends say that. And they would have to say that because they're our friends. But like, I do think, like, they're honest. My friends are honest, right? They wouldn't say anything. I know that they're enjoying it. I think that means everyone's enjoying it who's tuning in.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the feedback from the class is so positive and encouraging, and y'all keep us honest. You keep us humble. You keep us informed. And we are excited for this next evolution and to keep growing with y'all. So thank you for all your support over the course of these 3 incredible seasons. Thanks for listening. I'm Francesca.
I'm Delon, and this was
Let Me Fix It. We'll see you on YouTube.